You're a property snob. How is that working for you? We're going to talk about it tonight. Good attitude, bad attitude, make your money, lose your money. Let's talk.
Happy long weekend. It's always nice to have that extra day off. Beautiful.
How good does it feel?
Yeah, we've been on the couch all day. It's a very, very rare thing for the Novats, but we're just prepping for a very busy week ahead as well. But what we want to address with you guys tonight is, are you dissing great property because you're looking at that address online and going, nah, I'm not gonna buy that. That's on a main road location, or it's on a sloping block, and you're missing out on good property, guys. This is what we're going to address tonight. Are you being a property snob?
Is it making you money? Is it losing your money? So fortunately, we see the masses and what works, it doesn't work. So we wanted to share that with you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's look at a property as an example that I've got in Forest Way and Belrose. I actually did a video on this on Saturday on this exact topic, 111 Forest Way in Belrose. Now, this is a property that we've got a guide of 1.65 million on at the moment, right? That's a great, great guide in this market. That sub 2 mil on the Northern Beaches now in for houses is just a rare commodity, very, very rare commodity. So 111 Forest Way in Belrose, it's over 700 metres squared, Mark, the property, and it's just been freshly renovated as well. It's a 5-bedroom house with a pool, front yard, backyard, great property. And I know for a fact that buyers are looking at that address online. This particular one's on realestate.com. Yeah, and they're going, not coming to have a look. Forest Way, busy location, and they're not even coming through the property. We've had great numbers, don't get me wrong.
So they think it's noisy?
Yes, it is. And it is a noisy road.
They think it's noisy. They think it's difficult to get in and out of. They think it's possibly not going to make as much money as other places.
Yeah.
Well, they sort of don't know. Point. They're guessing, they're dissing.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's be real. This is sub $2 million on the Northern Beaches, and this is over 700 metres squared, and it's a 5-bedroom house. Now, the reality is, so all the buyers, Mark, that are coming through that property, they're all walking in, and guess what the first thing is that they're saying?
Wow.
I did not realise it was this quiet once you get into the property. It's got this big, huge frontage.
Yep.
And so by the time they're getting in the front door, they're like, wow, this is incredibly quiet. And there is off-street parking there for about 8 cars.
Yep.
So not only have you got your automated entrance, you push your button and the gates open and you drive in and all your friends and your family and your kids and everyone can park their cars, it's also whisper quiet. So,
judging a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Now, with the reservation about, is it going to make as much money as the other properties?
100%. Without a doubt. They're all going up in value. It doesn't matter where the property is.
Because if it's cheaper now, does that mean when you have to sell it, you're going to have to sell it cheaper?
No, it means no, because prices go up accordingly. All right, but they all go up. Right? No one ever bought a property in a crap location and they're looking back 10, 20 years and going, well, I never made money. You guys made money because you bought in great areas.
Yep.
Is that, well, Mark, you've been in this game for 30 years. Have you ever heard that?
I have an old-fashioned story.
Yeah.
Two guys from my office in sales. One when I was in Freshwater. One, both really good agents. I don't know if I could say their names, Jeff and Hilton. One bought in the best street in Freshwater. So we're at Harbord Real Estate. Bought the best street in Freshwater called Bryan Street. The other one bought on Harbord Road, busy road. Probably for Freshwater, that's probably the busiest road you can buy on Harbord Road. Now, what was actually interesting is they'd bought at the similar time. I remember one purchased for something, should be down if I'm wrong, but I think one was just over, I shouldn't say it, just over 220,000 for a house.
Wow. And Freshwater is an expensive area on the Northern Beaches. It's kind of the creme de la creme.
Yeah, 2-3 million bucks, 2.5 to 3 million bucks.
Yeah.
The other one purchased significantly more. It doesn't sound that significant now, but it was 30 to 40% more. So they paid for the equal home. So they paid about 300 grand. Now, the difference between the two, one was best street, one was worst street. We were putting the daggers into each other in the office as a joke. So, Jeff was always saying, I'm in the best street, mate, you're in the worst. All tongue-in-cheek stuff. We had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because two real estate agents, we all had polar opposite attitudes on it.
Yes.
So much so that one's vesting a little, one's vesting a lot because they feel so passionate about it.
Yeah.
Bottom line, I think it was about 6 or 10 years later when they sold, I ran the percentages identical.
There you go.
One of the best streets, one of the worst streets. A market had doubled.
Yeah.
In both.
Okay, so there you go. So Jen, you are making a great comment here. Go look at the property anyway.
Yep.
So, the amount of people that have inquired on Forest Way Belrose, and I'm saying, guys, come and have a look at the property. It's free to look, right? And then, we're getting big group numbers coming through. We're sort of getting 20 to 30 groups coming through this particular property. We're halfway through an auction campaign, actually. We're going to auction on this one. But the amount of buyers that are coming through and saying, wow, I did not realise that it was actually this quiet. By the time you're inside, you can't hear or see a car. Guys, you are missing out on great properties by not even going to look. All right. So you look at the blog, everyone wants to see the floor plan and, they look at the address and they Google map it, or they take a drive past a property and already they put the big cross straight over their open for inspection list and don't even bother coming to have a look. You're missing out on good property.
It's like dating and not wanting to date the brunette or the blonde.
Explain that.
Just have a chat. You never know.
Explain that. Well, that's exactly right, Mark. You always went out with brunettes before we before we went out.
I was it's dangerous territory. You better get away from it. But okay, so a couple of things. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
We've spoken about, for instance, a busy road location. We've spoken about it appearing very different when you actually go through. We've spoken about it making the same amount of capital growth. I had a client today on the phone asking me questions buying Central Coast, and he's like, I've got two girls. We don't need a big yard to play cricket on. If anything, I've looked at two. I like two from last Saturday. He's looking at the Central Coast.
Yeah.
I like two. He said one was like a pole home. He goes, but I bloody loved it. And he goes, but I'm from the UK and it doesn't really.
Yeah, they're not used to it.
He goes, it doesn't really, it's not really what I should do, but it does work.
Yeah.
He said the second thing is the other one was more picture perfect, but I'm paying a lot more.
Yeah.
And my attitude to him was go with it. Just make offers and see where it goes on both of them. Even though I said, don't judge. I know you're saying it because when he actually physically went through, they both felt equally as good. So I said, let the money do the talking. But here's my point. I said to him, look, you're actually sleeping on your money. So I said, if you can save 300 grand on buying something on a sloping block, I know it's not textbook, but but it works for his family.
Yeah.
I said, go and take that 300 grand and buy a $600,000 unit in DY.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just a different approach where you don't have to do that. You don't have to go tick, 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 get 10 out of 10 boxes ticked.
You won't get the 10 out of 10.
But spend, you're spending $500,000 more for the privilege, and are you going to use it?
And,
another thing.
And the thing is, like, often, if you're a buyer and you're watching this, guys, often I've got buyers coming through my open homes, and I've got properties, really, I'm very fortunate. I get properties for every single price bracket. I really do. I don't know many agents that actually get this range of properties that I do. Everything from, a one-bedroom apartment all the way up to multi-million-dollar properties and everything in between. The reality is that these properties are priced accordingly. So if we go back to my Forest Way, my the great house on a very, very busy street, it's got an auction guide of $1.65 million on it. Now, the reality is that likely, and don't quote me on this, will be selling sub 2 mil, right? That's likely what it's going to be selling for. The buyers that are walking through are going, love the house, not so sure about the location. And I'll say, well, what's your budget? Oh, look, we've got a budget of up to $2 million. guys, be real about this. All right. Even in a flat market, be realistic about this. You know,
Look,
you're not going to get the great house all renovated in a beautiful street.
something's got to give.
Something has to give. This is always what I'm saying. And I'm always saying to buyers, if you tick 7 of your 10 boxes, you are there. You've found the perfect property. Don't wait to tick the 10 out of 10 boxes. It doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen.
I've never had anyone, Mark, walk into an open home and go, oh, my God, this is it. This is the perfect house.
It's like marriage.
Yeah, but you found the perfect wife.
Actually, I was just laughing before.
He's going to be in so much trouble after this.
Change the topic again, quick. But I'm just going to laughing before because you made something have a little tea and then tried to
I made Mark a peppermint tea.
hide my cup. I'd just like to know if men actually allowed to drink tea out of something looking like that, or is that emasculating? Should a man be drinking out of a different teacup than that?
Yeah, guys, make your comments. We're interested to hear that.
I believe a man should not be drinking out of it.
Listen, he's lucky I made tea for him at all. It should be the other way around, shouldn't it? But look, it's a really interesting, this is a very, very interesting topic here, is that are you being a property snob? I reckon there's many buyers out there that can actually relate to what we're saying, you know. A lot of people, and I post stuff, as you would know, all over my social media all the time. I've just posted a beautiful property in Freshwater that's a pre-market. Often I won't put a price on there, and the reason that I don't is because I want to start that conversation with you on my social media. No, not always. No, because I respond very quickly to them, so they get the information they want quickly.
More people inquire.
Yeah.
Sometimes the people that wouldn't have normally inquired will inquire and buy. So sometimes you're doing a better job for your client. But
yeah.
Straight from the topic is being a property snob tonight, guys.
Yeah, but the reason that I'm mentioning that, Mark, is because often people, and fair enough, like often people won't actually know what the price is on that particular property. Yeah. But when we start the conversation, and it's a gorgeous house in Freshwater that's guiding $3.5 million, and then they tell me that they've got the budget of $2 million, it's like, guys, I'm sorry, I don't want to break your heart, but, you know, Freshwater's a hard suburb to get into at that level. Something has to give. So, and, you know, and then I'll refer them off to a property like my Forest Way property, or another property that maybe isn't renovated or it's not in a great location, but, you know, and something's got to give.
Yeah, something's got to give. But being a property snob, sometimes I think, guys, that you're actually missing out on the good stuff.
Sometimes, often.
Well, I think you can abstain for so long, not buy for so long, the market moves, and you're borrowing, you know, 20-30% more than you actually really need. Necessity is an interesting thing where I think it comes down to want and need is two different things. And I think being a property snob, you're actually saying, what do I actually need? What have I got capacity for? What will work? And the want thing, that's great, but I'm not going to be silly about this. And people are doing that in Sydney now, where they're going less premium in their choice of what they want, being a property snob.
Yeah.
And they're saying, you know what, I'm going to buy something else out of Sydney as well. Don't condone it. I don't.
But
I'm just saying they might buy something like a little apartment in Gosford and have something.
But this is also something really, really interesting as well. And this is a bit of a mindset that I think a lot of buyers get into. So I've got something coming up on the beachfront somewhere. I won't say where just yet. You will see it come up on my social media. It is a beachfront apartment. Now, the interesting thing here is when people live on the beachfront, what is one of the expectations when you live on a beachfront? Can you think about something?
Expectations?
Yeah.
Views.
Views, but also you're going to have the hustle and bustle and the traffic and the noise. It's going to be busy.
And you're going to have to pay.
You're paying millions of dollars for these apartments. Okay, so not only is there the big whopper price tag and the belting big view, but with that also comes noise. You've got people partying at night. You've got noise during the day because people are at the beach. You've generally got lots of traffic. Now, with that, but they're willing to pay millions of dollars. Then let's move that thought process to Forest Way and Belrose, where I'm guiding 1.65 million. They go, no, it's too busy.
Far from the beach.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, well, hang on a sec. You'll pay $3 or $4 million to go live in a beachfront apartment where you've got the same amount of noise and traffic.
Yep.
But you won't pay half that money to go and live on a busy road somewhere else. So, guys, just make sure you're really thinking this through properly. Make sure you are thinking this through properly. All right. For, you know, that, and it's got to be fitting with your budget. All right. Something must give. Do not dismiss these properties and not even come and have a look because of a location or because it's on a sloping block or because it's missing a backyard or it's up on stilts or whatever it might be. If that's the budget you've got, make sure that you are going and having a look at these properties.
Jennifer saying Sydney and Melbourne buyers don't have preconceived ideas of suburbs dist on the Gold Coast. Yeah, that's a great point. That one. They come with more open eyes. You know what? It's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
I'm a big disser of Queensland, and I'm a big disser of Melbourne. And you know, I think at the end of the day, it's just what works for you and what your family is.
Explain that. What do you mean? Just so people understand.
I think Sydney's traditionally done well, exceptionally well for 100 years.
Yeah.
And I think it'll do traditionally well for the next 100 years. But I think the reality of the last 18 months of what other areas of Sydney or Australia have done, I think are fantastic and temporary. But everyone's got their own opinion. But I'm still anytime anyone asks me for advice, I'm always saying Sydney, love Sydney. Yeah. But I'm the disser. But there's two emotional sides to it, guys. Two sides to it. There's the emotional, and then there's the intellectual. And I think that what we're talking about tonight, I very quickly jump to the money and say, look, main road, quiet road, they're both going to do well. I just naturally look at it that way. That's the intellectual side, but the emotional side is, you know, does it actually just work for the fam? Does it work for me working from home? Does it work for the family? Does it work for the husband? Does it work for the wife? Does it work? How do you feel?
And not only that, but often, you know, I'll find buyers are looking at something like they're going to live in it for the rest of their lives. You know, and I'm always saying to buyers, particularly in a market like this, just do a 3-year throw at the moment. Just say to yourselves, this is what we'll do for 3 years. It's what we did, Mark.
Yep.
We bought our place 12 years ago and we said, you know what, this is our 3-year plan. We'll just buy the property, we'll do it up a little bit, and then we're going to sell it. And here we are 12 years later going, we love it, best house, you know, great location.
And what was interesting was we sort of put all our eggs in one basket in our 20s and thought,
he's in so much trouble.
And we thought, we'll keep going, we'll do another one, bigger.
Yeah.
But the reality is we did, you know, with what we're saying tonight about W Property Snob, you may keep your powder dry for something else. So you can be conservative on the purchase, you know, consider the main road or Queensland or whatever, and then it allows you to have a bit more ability to do something later more. So we actually end up staying. We thought we'd be out of the house in 3 years, but then 3 years later we bought a little investment property, and then later we bought another little one, you know what I mean? So you start. Yeah. So we did other things with our money rather than sleeping on our money.
But not only that, I mean, I remember, Mark, a couple of years ago, we were looking to buy an investment property, and you said to me, wait until that period between Christmas and New Year and see what's been sitting on the market for maybe 6 weeks, and then we'll find something and we'll make an offer on that. All right. And this is exactly what we're talking about, guys. For whatever reason, you know, there was an apartment that we ended up buying in Freshwater. And, you know, it had been sitting on the market for 6 weeks. I think people were walking in and going, oh, a bit of a busy road, still a great suburb, bit of a busy road, needs a little bit of renovating. And we were like, we'll take it. And we did, and we bought it for fair price. But it's gone up so much in value, all right? So that's living testament to what we're saying to you guys. Don't dismiss that property that has either been sitting on the market for too long, or you think it's in a bad location, or it just doesn't seem to work for you for whatever reason. It's only ticking 5 of your 10 boxes. Throw out offers. You never know what these vendors are going to take. At the moment, the way the market is, here's what we're seeing, guys, on the Northern Beaches. We are seeing some properties that are going well over guides, no doubt about it. We are seeing some properties that are selling and we're going, it's about what we thought it was going to go for. It's fair market value. And then we're seeing other properties where we're like, that's it's quite cheap for that area.
Yeah,
What's going on?
Because people go, oh, it's just going to be a really, really, really busy auction, and it wasn't.
Well, they just dismiss it.
Not Novak properties though, but the other properties, they look at, people actually look at it and just think, oh, that look like that's sort of not for me. And then they see a stuff, they said, so actually that was really good. So get in there, guys.
Absolutely get in there. Throw offers. Throw offers. You know, you never know what is going on in a vendor's mind either.
Yep.
Of course, we're the agent that's representing them, but it's not our property. And, you know, many a time I've taken an offer to a vendor and thought, it's a bit low. Obviously, we've got to take it to them anyway. It's their name on the contract at the end of the day. And then they've come back and said, you know what, we're going to take that. And I'm like, wow, I was not expecting that. So, you know, buyers, listen up. Here's what we want to leave you guys with tonight. Make sure these are the takeouts. Make sure you are going and looking at everything that is in your price bracket, no matter where the location is in the area that you're looking. Absolutely. Make sure you're throwing in offers. I'm always saying it.
Whack an offer in.
Throw an offer in.
Free.
It's for free. You never know where it's going to take you, you know, and move quickly. Speed is still very, very important in this market. It really is.
Gradual improvement is better than delayed perfection. So you know, don't think that property move has to be your 50-year move. It may just be part of that pathway of getting in there.
Can I just add on this? There's another beautiful property that I've got in Monavale, gorgeous home. It's 800 metres squared. It's in a fabulous location. It's a battle axe, you know, it's over 800 metres squared. It's a big battle axe.
Yep.
And it's got a beautiful big long driveway that takes you up to the property that sits up high, and you get a view and you get the privacy up there as well. Now, a lot of buyers are looking at it. I know they're driving past and Google mapping it and going, long driveway. You know what? In the eastern suburbs, Mark, what sort of money do you pay for a big private driveway in the eastern suburbs of Sydney? Interesting. All right.
Guys, have a beautiful night. Happy holidays, public holidays, double points, even tomorrow, so be careful.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
It's a whole public, is it? No, yeah, next couple of days. Not the whole school holidays.
Double demerits, be careful. I got pulled over actually for RBT on Saturday. I was all clear though, we're good. Guys, have an awesome week and lots of stock about to launch to the market. If you are not following our social media, you are crazy.
All agents, Monday, Tuesday.
Coming on.
Yep. Places.
See you guys. Have a good one.
See you. Take care.
Bye.